Hey guys, Deb here with Art and Grace. Come on in. I am getting it pulled up on the iPad, but as you're saying hello, let me know that you're here and you can see everything okay. Let me know how your weather is. I know lots of you have been experiencing a lot of storms. It's been rough, so let me know how you're doing. And usually if you're on here, you're doing good, so let's see here. Hello, Cheryl. Glad you're here. Okay. Glad this is working because I've had lots of people say they were having glitches and weren't able to go live. So glad I can see. Hi, Tana. How are you today? Hi, Sydney. Okay, guys. Y'all can see okay? I just put this here, I don't know, just because it looked better than a blank wood thing. Hi, Ann. Hi, Angela. Oh, thank you for the stars. How sweet. So sweet to start it out with stars before I've done anything to earn them. Hi, Mary. Hi, Diana. Thank you, Sydney, for sprinkling. That is amazing. It is so hot, Marcia. I know. I'm over here in Fort Worth, and it's the same. We're all just trying to stay indoors and, not do anything to ruin our air conditioning. We want it to keep working. Hello, Kimberly. Hi, Tamara. Hi, Tricia. Yes, I know, Kristen. I'm so sorry about that. It's miserable, isn't it? And so many that have allergies are really suffering with that. So I hate that for you guys up north and of course for Canada. My goodness, it's awful. Really, really bad. I hope you guys can see this okay. I might need to pull it up a little. Let's just take a peek. But all I'm doing right now while people are still getting on is adding my multi-purpose sealer. I was almost positive that I had put my sealer on here, but when I turned it and tried to look, I really didn't see it. So I do think I did it, but it never hurts. And so I'm doing another coat just in case I didn't, but I'm almost positive I did. But I do want to add resin on here. This is something we're doing together, so you guys will get to see it, obviously live, and if it doesn't work out, then we'll know better what to do. But I just had this idea and wanted to do it today, so here we are. We're going to do it. It's a jellyfish, and I think it's going to be super cute. So let me dry this real quick. I typically let this dry on its own. I don't, use something to help it dry, but I'm going to dry it today. Oh, thank you guys for sprinkling the joy. Sparky Chris, I appreciate you. How's your weather? So you had bad weather. Is it past you now? Hi, Tarita. How are you today? You're so sweet to call me gorgeous. My goodness. Okay, let's dry and read. Hi, Candy. Sandra, I use DecoArt multi-purpose sealer. It just works fantastic to seal your wood or any surface if you're going to paint on it. So like if you're gonna paint on metal, glass, or wood, I really, really recommend using a sealer first. Or you can use gesso or chalk paint. But when I'm going to do resin on here, I always put a couple of good coats of sealer. And I have not had problems since I've been doing that. You will sometimes have the resin soak down into your wood and kind of bubble, and it just isn't, it looks bad. So you do, Sandra? So I always seal it before I do resin, just for safety, and it always helps. You do resin on glass. It's really cool. I'd love to see it. You guys that do art and crafts, you're welcome to go into my group called Art and Crafts Showcase and post any pictures you want us to see. It's a great way to show off what you do. Watching Ordered the Seahorse. Oh, good, Rennie. Did you do that today? Because I don't think I've seen one come through unless it was today. With the arrow for sprinkling. Oh, really, Deb? How weird. Well, that's okay. I appreciate everybody that can do it. I know not everybody always can. I mean, there's lots of times that it's so glitchy. We never know. Y'all, I am trying so hard to build up my YouTube because once we get to 1,000 there, we can go live over there. And I really want to have a backup plan just in case because it's so wonky here. Christy, are you out of the storm now? Did it pass you? Okay. That's, I believe, good and dry. The sealer will take a little bit longer to dry than just like acrylic paint. So let me just let that cool off. Hi, Michelle. How are you today? Storming here in northern Indiana. Helen, I hope that it passes you guys quick and doesn't do damage. I did an update on my Facebook today. I noticed that, you know, things were glitchy for me. So I went in and looked to see, and sure enough, it needed an update. So I went ahead and did that. So you guys may have the same situation where you need to do that. Hello, Jermaine. Yes, it's so hot, and we're okay. As long as our air works, we're fine. But we've all had situations. Last year, ours went out for, I don't know, days. It was awful. Let me see. Thank you, Cheryl, for sprinkling. I appreciate you. Storming here in Denver, Colorado. Yes. Okay, Deb. Hi, Gloria. How are you? How's your weather? Tennessee. Oh, is it Jeray? That's a pretty name. Hello. I hope I pronounced it right, but let me know. You can spell it out if I didn't. Okay. So what we're going to do is some ocean water, and I'm going to try this. I have never used it, and that's why I say we're going to try this together. But I'm going to put some of this thick glitter on and then put our glass and our resin, and I'm just going to see how it does. So if you've already done that and it didn't work, let me know. But otherwise, we're going to try it. And so I'm just getting some ocean deep water colors. So blue, maybe even a little teal to go with it, but mainly that blue. Hot, hot, hot. I know. I don't know. Do y'all think it's the age? Like, the older we get, the hotter it is. Like, we just don't tolerate it as well. Or is it really just getting hotter? Hi, Dana. How was your day? Oh, good. Well, that's a pretty name. I love unique names. I was always frustrated that my mom named me Deborah. I was like, that's so awful. Oh, she'd say, I just love that name. So we're just going to do some deep blue and maybe have it a little lighter at the top. But really, I'm going to fill this mostly with our jellyfish. So not a big deal. I don't know if y'all can tell how smoothly this paint is going on because I did put that sealer down. But it really does help. I just definitely recommend it if you're going to do resin. So I would never resin on wood without a sealer. Your name is French. Oh, I love it. Where do you live now? Past noon. I know. That's exactly right. You really, the car, even when you go get in your car, it's probably 130 or something when it's been locked up. And if it's 110 outside, it's probably 130 in your car easy. And so, Lord, I just pray people don't leave their kids, pets, It's just awful. Okay, let's do the sides. I think this is going to be pretty. I'm excited to see. And I hate waiting, but usually I can tell once I get all the glass on it how it's going to look tomorrow. So I'm picturing it, and I think it's going to be cute. Hi, Erlene. How are you tonight? Did everybody have a good week? I mean, we've made it to Friday, basically, right? So I hope that you've had a good week and no bad storms, or at least no damage in your area, in your home, or to people that you know and love. Your brother's in Crossville, Tennessee. Deb, thank you for the stars. You guys are too good to me. Deb is one of my VIPs. And you guys, if you've been considering, wanting to learn to paint or to do glass art, we are about to open our VIP group. And that stands for very inspiring people, because all of the people in my group just inspire me all the time. We post pictures of what we do, whoever wants to, and it's just always so fun to see what everybody's doing. And one person may do a decoupage napkin, but that may inspire someone else to paint something, and it works both ways. So we have crafters that do all kind of things, not just paint, and some people don't do any glass work at all. We have all kinds of, you know, like everybody from brand new at something to, you know, better than me at things. So you saw it spot on. Look like Blue's Clues. Oh, how funny this. I'm going to dry this and I'll do a little bit more on top. Oh. I forgot. I had rigged this little, I don't know, what do you call it? Like a board or poster board, foam board up, y'all, because the sun is shining in. And I totally forgot I did that. So when I bent down, my head hit it and knocked over all my paint. So look at my beautiful paintbrush. Yes, I'm fine. It's just, the paint fell is all you heard. It was nothing that hit me. Look at my paintbrush. That's okay. Okay, let me bend back down, get my heat gun, and not hit that board again. That was kind of funny. No big. No harm. Did y'all like my little breaking news? Breaking news. Crafter gets hit in the head by cardboard. The breaking news is that, yes, we are just about to open the VIP group up. I am not making a giant deal about it because I do talk about it quite a bit. So I think most of you guys know about it. You know, I used to run ads and everything, but I think the best way for me and the group and what I want out of the group is just to mention it to you guys and anybody that's been thinking about getting in or wants to try it. This is going to be the time to do it. And then if you don't love it, then you can just cancel. You know, it's a month to month. You can sign up for a year, but and you get 2 months free when you sign up for a year. But you know, if you want to try it, just do a month, and if you don't like it, just cancel it before that next month's payment comes out. Hello in Washington, Lynn. Are you covered in smoke up there? Thank you, Brenda, for sprinkling. I appreciate you, friend. Lori, no, didn't hurt. A stars party? Christy? Yes, I'm live, Linda. Welcome aboard. Come on in. Thank you, Christy. I saw your stars. And Earlene, thank you. And Annette, I didn't see all that. That must have been when my board fell. Good to see you guys. Okay, pretty much dry. Let me set this aside. We're going to do a little bit more. So I showed y'all one time how I will take either a plastic bag, like a Walmart sack, or I'll take like, you know, paper towel. I think for this, it would be wise to use plastic, now that I'm thinking about it, because, let me grab this, because your fibers from your napkin can get into the paint. And then when I pour the resin, I don't want to chance any of those little fibers kind of coming up. So I'm not going to use the napkin today. I'll use a little bit of bubble wrap, and let's just kind of play with that to get some texture on here. I don't think most of this is going to show, but some of it will. So we'll just play around a little bit and see how it looks. Dana, thank you. Deb, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Nobody feel obligated, but it's so sweet when y'all do that. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to just take our paint, and I'm going to get a little more blue because I used a lot and some probably got on my brush. So I'm going to take some of that blue and some of that green and just a little bit of the green and kind of get a little mixture here and just kind of tap this around, and it should look kind of cool. You can use, like I said, a Walmart sack or whatever, wherever you shop. Just anything kind of plasticky that you can bunch up and just use for texture. I use this bubble wrap a lot for mixed media. I pretty much always use some bubble wrap. I like to mix up backgrounds sometimes and do different things, but you could totally, if you don't want to do glass art, then just paint you know, just paint with us, and you can stop there. But I always will show something. I'll like show the painting, and then I'll go on and do the glass. So that way, if you don't want to do glass and you know you don't want to do glass, then you still have the painting, and everybody else that wants to can go on and do the glass part. I'm going to grab some of this darker blue and put, especially down here toward the bottom, kind of darken this bottom up. It's really pretty, so I like showing y'all what you can get from it. Can y'all see? Yeah. Mixed medias. That's okay, Dana. You're busy. You are busy. But, you know, you've seen the techniques and you've got access to all the tracers and everything. So if you guys are asking questions, I'm going to try to watch. If you have any questions, let me know. And I just saw Barbara answer. Thank you for doing that. I got my hands in this, so I can only see like one little thing at a time that pops up. But in the group, I put all tracers. So if I do something in someone else's private group, or I do something here on my page, the VIP group gets that tracer. So they always get a tracer for everything I do. And sometimes I don't even, like, I just will freehand whatever I'm going to paint. I'll still make them a tracer. So it's kind of a neat little perk to be sure you get a tracer for everything. You can print it out and keep them in a file, and they're yours forever. So if you're in the group, you can use my designs however you want to. Like, I really want you to benefit however you choose to. So if you want to make stuff and sell it, go for it. If you're just watching here on the page, then you only have permission to use them for your own personal benefit. They're at home, and you can't sell products with my designs. Does that make sense? Okay. Look at that. That's a cool, I like that kind of textured look. Let me see if y'all can see that. There we go. Keep thinking I'm going to order another lot, but they're pricey. The one I want is pricey. Okay, so Christy, this was the Royal Navy. I love this navy. It's just a true navy, and it's deco art. So I used Royal Navy, I used Vivid Blue, and I used the Tropical Blue. Let's see. Yeah, thank you. Any other questions I didn't see about what we just did? Hi, Christy. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so you can reuse your bubble wrap, you know, until it's lost its bubble. But of course, I'm chunking this because I do have plenty, and that's messy. Okay, I'm going to dry this. We'll go to the next step. Yeah, texture's really cool. So even if you're just going to paint this on a canvas, that's a really easy way to make it look interesting, more interesting, and kind of be different, you know. I keep feeling like, there we go. You can see it. That's okay, Barbara. It is Tropical Blue, this one, and then the Royal Navy and the Vivid Blue. So I'll hold it up, a brighter blue. And that gave us that pretty variation. Brenda, thank you. Hi, Mary. And then we left a little bit of light coming in. Now, my jellyfish is probably going to cover that, but I still like to show all kind of things, because you may choose to do like a small jellyfish down here and maybe a small one up here and leave that. So do whatever. Oh, Christy, thank you. I appreciate that. Y'all are awesome. Okay. Set that down. And let's do our jellyfish. Okay. I'm going to think colors here. So here's what I'm playing with. Like I said, we're doing this together. I have not done one of these yet, but I like all these colors, so I pulled all of these. This is what I'm thinking of using. Maybe pink. I can't decide on the pink. So I was thinking we'll use a little bit of this for the water. Just kind of, I kind of thought we'd sprinkle this around also, just kind of to give a pretty look to our water. So that leaves these two for our jellyfish. What do y'all think of the purple? It's going to look kind of pink, kind of purple. Or should we mix it up and do, I'm just dropping this down to show y'all. We can mix it up and do, you know, we could do some of this pretty pink with it. Let's just try. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, and then we can take it off. I'm pulling out some of the bigger pieces that were in there. I don't like the giant pieces for most things. I like the smaller pieces. What do y'all think? Y'all give me your ideas on what you think will look good. Thank you, Mary, for sprinkling. You love the seahorse. I've had so many people comment about that or message me. If you haven't seen it, here, I'll grab it. Ah, my back hurts. This is our seahorse we did. The background is another really pretty one. So if you didn't watch this live, you can go back a couple, I don't know, it was just the other day, and see how I did a swirly background, because that's a really cool background to do for any painting. In fact, I kind of use that method on what we're doing tomorrow. This is the last kids painting we're doing tomorrow, and it's got that swirly background. So anyway, this one has that. And yes, I think I've got one kit left. Somebody asked me about it today, so she may have gotten in there and bought it, but one kit left. Smaller, colorful glass for legs. Yes. You haven't, Dana? Lynn, I get it on Amazon, and I've got it pinned in my Amazon store front. Oh, I love doing them. I've never done this much sea life. You like the mix, Christy? I've never done this much sea life, but I think I'm just craving a vacation, you know, like to the beach so bad that you know what might be pretty? I'm going to just take a look and see. We're playing, y'all. We're playing to see if we, oh, that might be cute, y'all. Look, for the legs or whatever those things are called. Oh, I kind of like this. Let's just see. It doesn't hurt to play, and we can take it all off if we don't like it. You kind of have to blur your eyes. You know, when I'm just kind of giving you a visual here, kind of got to blur your eyes and imagine what you think. Oh, who said that? Who said that? Sandra Baird. I live at a beach. Oh my goodness. Seriously, I'm not kidding when I say I pray. I want to so bad. It's just never happened. Never happened, and it may never. But you never know. You love it? Okay, y'all let me know. So this would be kind of, sort of how it would look with our little pieces as the legs. I had not thought of doing that. And then, let me see, where's my bright blue? I don't have much of that. Probably won't use the bright or the light blue. Love it. Driving home. Yes, it is that time. It is for sure that time. So y'all like that? The only thing is I don't know about, y'all don't freak out because this may not look good. So don't freak out when I put this in here. But I'm just going to drop down some teal and maybe some blue and make him kind of colorful. We can remove it if we don't like it. So I feel like Justin, where he's like, you know, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I'll be right back. Don't leave. You know how he does. But I'm just going to just test it and make that a colorful little jellyfish and see if we like it. And we may not. I mean, I'm just playing. This is why it's called art therapy, because you can get in your little space, even if it's a kitchen counter, y'all. I use that forever, and then I used the kitchen table for about a year before they finally kicked me out and said no more, because we couldn't even eat at the table anymore. It got so bad. So let's just take a look and see. Do we like that or no? You like the teal in it? Those tentacles. Yes, tentacles. Love the teal in it. Try the green. Hi, Melissa. Glad you're here. Hi, Simone. Glad to see you. How are you? What are y'all thinking of all the colors? Is it a no? Too many and too weird? I looked them up on Google, and some of them are really, really colorful. But that is a lot. You know, we don't have to do all of the colors. Y'all have a better view looking at it straight up and down. So it may be too much. Maybe a little less purple. So when you say purple, you mean, do you mean these rocks? Because I think that's what you're saying. And if so, our other option is absolutely to use way more glass and less of the purple. I didn't know. I just kind of wanted to see. But of course, when I first sat down and had all my stuff together for this, I did not have the purple out. And then I remembered that I had it and grabbed it. So we don't have to use it. Let's just take a lot of it off and put more glass and see. I can do this all day and nobody will bother me. Everybody's busy. They're doing their own thing. But I'll just sit in here and play and make things for, kind of for myself or things I want to do for the group. And before you know it, it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon and I've barely stopped. Okay, so let's just add a little more blue. I know the blue's a little bit similar to the background, but I'm just going to add a few more. And then let's add a lot of teal. Hi, Ann. 11:27. You're about to go to bed. Well, glad you came in. How are you doing? And you guys chit-chat with each other, because I know right now, like, my hands are in this and I can't look at all the comments, but I love, let me tell you what I love, y'all. I love when I go back and read the comments and I see you guys like, hello, how are you? Or chit-chatting with each other, because that is what I want for this community. And it is what we have in the private group 100%. Everybody's super sweet to each other and we all chit-chat and, pipe in and pray for each other and all of that. But like on my page even, I love seeing that because, a lot of people are lonely and get on here to have kind of a friendship, with everybody. And so seeing you guys get to know each other in the comments brings me so much joy. And just being nice to each other, because Facebook can be, there's a lot of drama. There will be a lot of political mess and we don't do that here. We really focus on just supporting each other and being kind. So I love that. I just had to stop and say that. Okay. What do y'all think of just oh, that's kind of pretty. I kind of think you're right on that, Lori. You like it better? I like it better myself, but y'all tell me what you think because you've got a little bit better view. Oh, good, Monica. You're going to do it one of these days. Oh, Anne, what's y'all's temperature? I think so too, Lori. You're right. I'm glad you said that. You're totally right. It does look better. I love it. So I think you're right about leaving some because I was thinking about taking it all out, but I think it's good to have some in there. And then we'll have the little trails of this. Okay, do we like it? Did a resin picture with real sea urchins. Sandra! I love that. I did one. Oh, you know what, guys? I got to show you this. If anybody wants this, let me tell you what happened. The sweet lady who bid on this for the Alzheimer's event wound up not being able to get it. She wasn't able to keep that commitment. Something came up in her life, totally understandable. So if anybody would like to make a donation to the Alzheimer's Association, under my link, you have to use my link, then we will just, give it to the next person that might want it. So just message me if this is something you think you might want. Otherwise, I'm going to put it in my Etsy store. But I thought while we mentioned that. So anyway, is this the kind of urchins you used? Like that? Sandra, are these the ones you used? Anyway, so when she said that, it made me remember that piece in blue and white. How pretty. Okay, add a few pieces of the light color back in. So pink, or we could use, let me just take a look at my clear or we have, this is, what do you call it? No, that's silver. Silver would work though. Let's see, guys. Here it is, here it is, here it is. Found it. This is champagne, I believe it's called. That might be pretty to add. Let's just add a few. And we can add just some white or clear too. But that will definitely lighten it up. Let's see, you're doing a craft it. Oh, wow, Sandra, I need to see some of your beautiful things. So I hope you'll post it in the Art and Craft Showcase. It's just one of my free groups that you can show off what you do. And I don't let people sell in there. However, when you post your things, you might have somebody message you and say, hey, are you selling that? Or they'll come to your page and take a look, you know. So there's some clear and crystal or champagne added in. Let's see what that looks like. How is that looking, you guys? What do y'all think? Oh, is that where Hurricane Ian hit? I'm sorry if I didn't have that centered under the camera there. You liked more purple, Kristen says. We can add in some more purple. Color and light. Good. Or we could add some more pink, you know, whatever. But yes, I see what you mean, because now the purple is really covered. We might just kind of have this in a big bowl and mix it up so that I get a good mix when we actually resin it. What do y'all think? Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is kind of the way that I've been showing you a lot lately, because it just seems to work out the best for me. So let's mix our resin. Don't be afraid of resin. I promise. I don't really, honestly, I can't think of one person who's ever done resin who said, no, it's just not for me. Like, everyone who does it falls in love. So if you've been wanting to try it, you live down there. Well, I'm sorry. Did you have a home that was like destroyed? Okay. I'm going to take this off so that we can do our technique. Let me grab a piece of paper. Kind of scrape all that. So we know we need to have these colors, you know, in our little body. But you can always, you have to be a little patient, but I've done it. Pick out like pink if you don't want all the pink in it, and just use the blue. I get this one at Michael's. I don't know if they still have it because I've had this one for a while, but that's where I found this. And I'm going to put this in a cup so I can kind of measure it. This is a good guide for how much I put in an art kit if I make an art kit. So let me just, come on. I'm going to make it, I'm going to add a little more just to fill it up a little bit more. I always give, in my art kits, I almost always give more than you need. And some people, of course, will use it all, but that gives you a little extra to put on something else if you want it. Okay. Okay. I've also learned to go ahead and sign it now if you're going to sign it, because I always forget to do this at this step. You want to try it, Michelle? You'll love it. You will. And that will dry while we mix our resin. Okay, let me move my water cups. Y'all, my little space here is so tiny, you would laugh if you saw it. But I have to kind of move things around in order to be able to do the next step. But it works. It works. We make do. Got my new gloves in today. Oh, Lori, oh my goodness, girl, I promise you, you're going to be a professional. You will do so good. Because you have access to all the shells and everything. You've got to do it. You need to get in my group. I go into a lot of detail in the group, and also anytime I do my paid classes, anybody who's in my VIP group takes those classes free. You never have to pay for anything, you know. If you're a VIP, anything I teach, you get free. So it's a extra bonus. Okay, I use Art Resin brand. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. No BPAs, VOCs, or COVs, which is, if you look it up on their safety data sheet, it explains what they are. It's just super long chemicals that you do not want in your resin. You don't shake it or anything. You just pour it. Thanks, Christy. Can't wait to get your seahorse. Oh, it's so fun to do. I always think, I wish I'd get orders. I need to just, probably tell people I take orders, because I love making them for people. I never just want to make one. I'm probably going to do more than I need, because you know me, I've always got things around here to resin. So I'm going to do a little more than I need. Let's do 20 cc's. So it's a little more than an ounce. And put the lid on and then set it far away. I know you guys that watch me are tired of me saying this, but there's going to be somebody new on here or on the replay who doesn't know. That way, if my thing fell on my head again and I had to stop and take care of that and set everything back up, then when I get back here, if they were both sitting here, I wouldn't know which one I just poured. But now, since that one's way off in the distance, I know this is the one I need to do next. So if you get in the habit of following your own little guidelines, then you will not run into trouble. You'll always have the perfect amount. And I'm using these little measuring cups that are marked. If you ever get a kit from me, they have these in the kit. And you just go right up to the line and don't go over the line. If I was to go over just a dot, then I would just go over a dot in that one. You want it 50-50. You want it to be a really good cure with no issues. So you do need them to be exact. And I'll just take a quick look, and they are. I know. I want to see some of yours. Helen, it's going to be $20, $20 a month, which I think is such a steal for all that we do. And you ladies that are in there can tell them what you think and if you think it's worth it, and be honest, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I have not been in a ton of other groups to know, but all of the groups I've been in have been more than that. I've never been in one that was just 20. So I think that I do give a lot for that. So Chrissy's got my time. I'm going to go ahead and pour these into a little bit larger stir cup, because they wouldn't fit in just one of these little measuring cups. And we're going to mix these together for 3 solid minutes. Just try to get all of that resin out. By the way, I have to brag on somebody. I want to brag on everybody, because all of you have helped me reach my goal for the Alzheimer's Association. I had my 4th annual Art and Craft, or Creatives for Alzheimer's Art and Craft event and fundraiser. We had that on June 17th. And I not only met our team goal, but we over doubled it. But I personally did not meet my little goal, and I was kind of sad. So I couldn't be sad long, because we more than doubled our team goal. But I was just a little disappointed in myself that I didn't do better at, meeting my own goal. Well, guess what? Cindy and I were talking the other day. Cindy owns Art Shattered, Cindy Manley. And she was saying she would like to be a part of it next year. And I was like, oh, please do. We'd love to have you. I ask the people that I know well, but if I don't know somebody really well, I feel bad to ask them, hey, do you. So anyway, she went in there. I just noticed today she went in there and helped me meet my goal. So I have now met my $3,500 personal goal. And I just almost cried. I was so grateful. It's just a little silly thing that I do, you know, that I set a goal and I really, really want to meet it. But, you know, it's not silly to the person that's really passionate about it. But, you know, it was silly that I was worried about meeting it anyway. Yes, she is so sweet and really good teacher and excellent at what she does. So I was just so grateful for her and everybody. It was a whole bunch of $5 donations, some 10, some 20, some 50, a few hundreds, a few more than that. Everybody that bought at one of my auctions, you know, it was, and then of course all of the presenters that did their part and auctioned their items. It was just such a huge team effort from all of you and everybody that was a part that it's an amazing thing to be a part of. And if you guys wished you'd been a part, then please be sure you join me next year, because I can't tell you how important it is. It's such an important cause. Okay, so we're stirring kind of slow, as you notice, and I scrape my sides. Aw, thanks, Brenda. I scrape my sides. Aw, I'm so glad that so many of y'all did, Simone. I was really proud of you in particular and a few others that just did so good and just put forth the effort. Because, man, that's what it's about, and I appreciate that. It does take some effort to fundraise. It's not like just an event. And those that did, really, I hope you feel proud of yourself. And I've prayed that God blesses you and your business. So I scrape the sides and then I scrape the bottom real well as I'm doing this. Oh, good. Ree's going to join my team. Girl, I'm putting you down now, so you're on it. I think Simone's already on it if she still wants to be. She said she did. So anyway, you just scrape gently and stir gently. We're not baking a cake, so we don't whip, whip, whip. We do it slowly. But in 3 minutes, which it's probably about 3, it's going to be perfectly clear and ready to go. It'll have bubbles, but it'll still be ready to go. You work behind the scenes? Oh, that's awesome. Aww. Oh, I will, girl. Don't you worry. I'm going to come knocking. That's great. What did you do, Rennie? Okay, I knew she was going to say, I was just watching Christy. I knew you were on it. So see how clear, it's hard to tell probably from where you are, but there are bubbles, but we'll get those out. Yes, you are participating next year for sure. And in the kit, I give you the little cups. I give you a toothpick. I give you the stir stick. I really want to make it super easy so that if you're out of something, you don't have to worry. You know, you're going to get everything you need. And let's see. Let me think. Yeah, I'm going to put down a little bit. Oh, Helen, that's awesome. It was your first time. Well, you've got years to go, because I'm going to do this as long as God lets me. You know, as long as I can still paint and organize the event and everything, I am committed. It is, like I said, it's such an important thing. So many, there's, 6 million Americans living with Alzheimer's right now. That's ridiculous. And 55 million or more across the world. So, the research and the resources that we raise money for is so worth it. And just praying for a cure and for the right people to be involved that can find the cure and speak up, and medications and all the things that need to be done. I actually do a little bit of mild, not political work, but like I am on top of watching for that topic. And so, but if everybody does one little thing, then all of it will get done. So I love that. Okay. So I'm getting that background down and bringing it to the edges. I prefer not to have it go over my edges. So, whoops, look at what I thought that was resin for a second. I prefer to have it stop, which is called doming, where you bring it to the edge, but then you stop it and don't let it go over. And if you let your resin sit there for a minute, it'll get thicker and it's much easier to do. But I'm not waiting. I'll just go ahead and be careful with it. If it does go on the side, that's okay. You just always want to have like a plastic cover or a silicone mat. You know, you could put down some wax paper. I'd put a couple of sheets of wax paper. I've used a lot of different things. If I didn't have something like that handy, I will even just put down 2 or 3 sheets of white paper. You know, as long as I don't want it to go through and ruin my surface that I've got it on. It's got to be a level surface, so you need a level, and of course Dollar Tree sells them. And I send them out in my art kits randomly. I usually have them ready to go and kind of packed up, so I don't even know who's going to get one. If you ever purchase an art kit from me on Etsy and you need one or want one, you just put in the notes, and if I've got them on hand, I will put one in your order. But it's just a little table, or just a little tiny mini level, but it works, so it's kind of fun to have. Oh, and on a mount, somebody may have asked me, you know, how do you know how much I'm to use? That comes with experience, so I just have done it long enough that I know how much I want. I don't want it pouring over the sides, so I know just how much each size is going to need. But the Art Resin website, if you use the brand I use, they've got a calculator, and you just put in, this is a maybe a 6x12 or something like that. And if you just put that in, whoops, I don't know why I always make it so it's probably a 6x12. And Etsy shop has the kits. Oh yes, my Etsy shop does have some kits. And you know, if you ever don't see the one you're looking for, just ask me, because sometimes I don't even list it just because I don't have time, but I have them. You know, I know that's a really dumb problem, but there's only so much time in a day, and I quit trying to kill myself and be sure everything got done because I was staying up all night, and that's silly. You know, if somebody wants one, they're going to message me and say, hey, do you have any more? You know. And I'm still small enough that if you ask me, I can usually make one. So like if you're like, do you have any of those? If I don't, I can tell you, oh no, but I can make you one real quick. Someday that may not be a possibility, but okay, I'm going to use my little butane torch. It's like a kitchen torch, and I just turn it to the on position, so closed, open, and get out these bubbles. You want to go fast, back and forth across the piece, and don't hold it in one spot too long. And that's got it. And now we can dump. So for this little guy, hi Tony McGee, glad you're here. And I know Mary's watching because she is going to be doing some beautiful resin work. Cindy, sorry, I see somebody must have answered a question for you. Y'all let me know, or I'll go back and be sure everything's answered. Now, when you get this glass, you want to wash it in a good strainer. So I recommend having one of those really good strainers that's very tiny. You know what I'm saying? Not like you might use for, I don't know, spaghetti noodles, because those are usually bigger holes. But you want that really tiny holed one so that none of this gets through, because there will be little tiny chips, just kind of like this with this kind of, you know, there'll be little bitty pieces. But get it really good and clean, and then dry it on a towel or some paper towels. And it, you know, sometimes I let mine dry overnight or something. I have not washed this, and it's not the end of the world. Sometimes I don't wash it. I just don't have time. So you can still use it. It's just that you'll get all or most of, you know, the little granules and the kind of dust that kind of comes on it in shipping. But I don't worry too much. I do wash it if I'm going to make one for somebody and I know it needs to be special. I'll be sure. I'm just kind of dumping, and we can still play around with it. That was a lot of glass. Like, I probably didn't need to use that much, but let's just play around and get it kind of how we want it. One side of the glass is clear, and then the other side has like a foil backing, and that's what makes it reflective. So if I see a big chunk that's turned over, I'll turn it over to where the glass is up. But a lot of people don't. They just leave it like that. So either way, you know, there's no wrong way or right way really on placing your glass. Everybody does what they like, and you just kind of get your own style and what you like, and what you think's pretty. And I'm kind of making this in a little bit of a kidney bean shape, because the one I looked at online, that's the shape it was. But I also saw others that they were literally like a bowl. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like, some were kind of like, you know, all weird, and some were like this with all their little things. So really, no wrong way to even put your glass, because I think these things come in all kind of weird shapes. Yes, Michelle, if it's the glass, I do. I get it on Amazon, and I do have it in my Amazon storefront, the one that I buy. So you can go there. If you'll just go to my website, which is artgracepaint.com, you can get anything you need. Whatever it is, it'll be there. So if you need to get on the email or the telegram, or if you want a free tracer, or if you want to know what supplies I use, all of it is there on my website. Try to keep everything there in one place so that nobody has to hunt around. I have a page on my website that, you know, it'll say my favorite supplies, I think. So anyway, I've kind of got the shape I like. Y'all let me know from you've got a good angle. Yes, Michelle, I do think a kit is a great way, because like I said, you get all of the glass that I use. You get the cups, the stir stick, the gloves, the toothpick, you know, you get everything. Now, I don't ship resin, so that you have to buy, but that allows you to do your research and buy the kind you want, and just buy a small one to start with, and go from there. But that is usually what everybody seems to do, is get a kit. And honestly, a lot of people buy the kits because they're convenient. So you might start doing it because it's, I'll tell you, I would say the sunflower might be a really good one to start with. This one is a good one. This one's actually a really good one too. This is easy because we just dumped it. Now, here's the trickier part, is getting these pieces how I want them. So I'm just going to kind of go in a trail, just like I did when I set it down. It's not going to be perfect. Let me pour some out, actually, because I do want to measure this too. So let's get a little cup. I'm going to put an ounce, and we'll see how far we get with an ounce. I think an ounce will do it. If I forget to measure it out, then I have to try to figure out how much I used, and it's much easier if I do it right now and not have to backtrack. I'm just going to kind of do some lines, or somewhat, and then we'll use our toothpick or our stir stick to get them back into shape. I'm glad that some of our background is showing through. So see how that light part, some of it. Yes, that's exactly right, Christy. This would be a really easy one. The flowers, any flower that I do is easy. And then this looks to be super, super easy. You know, the only difficult thing is getting this in a line, but it's not difficult. You just use your stick and line it up. I'm telling y'all guys, I'm telling you, I don't know anybody who's just done one and then stopped. Everybody is like, oh, I love it. It's so fun. You know, this, I don't know if I finished saying about the safety on this resin, but it is extremely safe. So if you get headaches like I do and things like that, I've never gotten a headache from this, and I use it every week. I mean, like many days a week usually. So I've never had this give me a headache. People that have asthma, like Christy uses it and she has asthma, they, you know, say on the website that basically anyone can use it. So I feel very confident, and that's why I chose it, really, because they used an outside research company to test everything, and most companies do not pay for that because that comes out of their pocket, you know, to use a company like that. The government isn't going to pay for that, you know. They have to meet certain guidelines, but they went above and beyond to get additional testing. I'm going to have these kind of coming off this way. You know, you don't want them all perfectly straight, so we'll play around with it. But anyway, I do recommend everybody do their research, because I've definitely heard people talk about resin, and I can tell that they did not educate themselves. So I really am a firm believer in, don't just take somebody's word for it. You know, do a little bit of research so that you're comfortable bringing that into your home and around your pets and family. Because just if they sell it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, that does not mean that it's safe. It doesn't. Because sometimes in the small print they say, be sure and wear this grade of respirator. Well, how many of us are really going to invest in a high functioning respirator? So this one, you don't have to use a respirator. You can breathe it and it doesn't harm you. So I pay a little more for this brand, but it's worth it to me. Now I do know they're a little thicker at the top and then they get thinner as they go down. So I am going to thin this out just a little as I come down. We'll just curve it around. Yeah, that's how I feel, Michelle. Now, I know not everybody feels that way, but I can cut other things. And I did. I quit buying so much at Dollar Tree. And, you know, my love is painting and glass art. And I do love other things like crafts. But in order to do this and spend the money on the resin, then I quit buying $100 at Dollar Tree. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, for me, I had to cut something and I could cut that and not miss it. And I don't, because I'm able to do this. Okay. Glad y'all are staying with me. I see a lot of people have left. I hope I didn't bore them. I know it's dinner time and all that. I saw one crafter today that I know said somebody left an ugly comment about she talks too much, and I was like, oh, well, I've had that a couple of times. I mean, that's okay. That's not my people. My people understand my mission is to help and to teach and to explain and serve people and not gatekeep and all that stuff. And so that takes time, and they are welcome to watch a replay where they can just speed it up and go really fast. You know, you have to get thick skin if you're going to do this, because people are getting bolder and bolder with their comments as we go. I'm honestly glad that my mom is not here to see the world that we are in, because she would be mortified. It was bad enough when she had her mind, and you know, it's just crazy what's going on. You're still here? Oh, good, Tony. See, I mean, I really, you know, I feel a responsibility with resin to teach, you know, well, and teach and to explain well and everything, because it's not something you want to just quickly, oh, I'm going to grab some and do it. You know, you really do need to do a little bit of homework and watch. And usually once you've watched 3 of my videos, you're good. You can do it and you'll do great. Because I try to be pretty thorough. The only time I can't be is in a timed event, but oh, I forgot. This needs to thin out down here. Wanted some kind of going off the board here. Cynthia, how are you tonight? And how's Jerry? Okay. I'm going to scooch this way so that I can put one more in there. Hi, Veronica. How are you feeling? Great to see you here. Yeah, and right, you know, for those of us who had moms that grew up and were very, you know, pure, I don't know the other word, but very sensitive to what God wanted for her life and for her in how she handled people. She was a manager at JCPenney and she was nothing but professional. And I have thought and thought over the years trying to think of one person that I ever heard her talk bad about, and I have not been able to think of one. There was a lady that came on to work in her store who was much younger. My mom was around 60, maybe 58 to 60. And this lady came on and she was a lot younger and really tried to just, you know, take over and move up real fast and all this. And so I remember feeling protective of my mom because my mom said, well, she may get the promotion because I do not have a degree. My mom went to school for a couple of years and then dropped out to get married and, you know, be a wife. So sure enough, the girl did get the position and my mom never said a word ugly. You know what I mean? Like, she just was an amazing human being, to be honest. And so I'm glad that she's not here to hear all of the F words and the way people, you know, they call them a Karen where they yell at the manager and, oh, she would have just died. So, I mean, what's happened to us that we've gotten so far away from human decency? Okay. What are y'all thinking so far? I know they are. Some ways, you know, some people, sometimes they need to be bold, and I'm glad that women are standing up for themselves and not taking, you know, things that they used to take. But some of it is ridiculous and really kind of gross, and I don't like that stuff. Thank you. I'm turning this to the side because I always tell people, whether you're painting or doing glass or whatever, you can turn your canvas however you need to get a good view and to get it to do what you need it to do. Just turn it. I used to use an easel, but it's honestly easier for me to have it flat and turn and turn and turn, you know. I know, Tony, I don't either. They just don't care. You know, a lot of people don't have the same teaching that we've had, you know, and they just weren't taught, I guess. They probably actually were modeled to be ugly when they want something or don't get something, or I don't know. Such a miserable way to live. I mean, I'd be unhappy all the time if I was just always griping at everywhere people, you know, at people when I went places. I'm the opposite. I want to be nice because I know they have to put up with those kind of people. Okay, now tell me how it looks from your view. So if you're like, well, Deb, I think it needs to do this, let me know now. If you have made a comment or something I didn't see, I will go back and read them and answer them. Looks great. Oh, really? Good. So y'all don't see anything wrong? Okay, let me lift this up and give you kind of a good view with the light kind of on it. And I do still see a couple of pieces. I'm going to switch to a toothpick. More teal, Kristen says. You got it. Y'all see anything else, you know, that you're like, oh, I wish I had more, whatever. You can literally just place your pieces where you want them. And it's fun. It's like a little puzzle. Right, Lori? That's how we were taught, you know, is you just keep your mouth shut. You don't comment on appearance. You're definitely not ugly. I mean, like, even if your food doesn't come right or on time, I mean, it's just crazy how people talk to people. We need more Jesus. And unfortunately, some Christians have made people turn off to Jesus, but you know, I can't worry about that. I have to just try to be a decent example myself, and boy, there's no way to be perfect. I fail every day, but I couldn't get through life without him. I know that. Okay, let's see. Yes, it is. That's right. Keep your nose clean. I've heard that. Yes, my dad used to say that forever ago. Forever ago. Okay. She's a beauty. Does anybody see that it needs something? Like, ooh, it needs more something. I'm going to stand up and look over it like you guys are. Oh, thank y'all for the stars. I just saw the 900. That's awesome. I think I'm going to actually bring it up a little. So I'm going to push it and have it fill a little more space up here. To me, it looked a little small. There's plenty of glass on it to do this, so I'm just going to... And I'll show y'all what my next step is with the resin, so give me 1 second to get this situated. So what I do when this is over is I will make a tracer that has this kind of shape and some lines and pop that in the VIP group. Okay, now y'all tell me. Let me sit back down again. My back is hurting. Okay, I thought so too. I thought it needed to come up a little. It was just a little, there was a little more space than it needed to be. And having this a little larger just makes sense. So I like that too. Now, does it need a few pieces anywhere? Just gonna place 1 or 2. Y'all tell me what you see it needs. Oh, Christy, thank you. I didn't say that to get more, please, y'all. It's embarrassing. I try to tell myself it's just like having a little tip jar, so don't feel bad. I used to just be so embarrassed, like, you know. Hi, Maria. Thank you for sprinkling. Appreciate it. There's one of my hairs. I gotta get that out. Y'all see anything it needs color-wise? Bottom, middle. Okay, bottom, middle. Yes, I know about that. I saw that too, but I would have to put, I almost did move this over and put another row. Are y'all going to be mad at me if I do this? I'll do it really quick because I thought the same thing. I thought I probably should move that over. Hold please, I've got a little hair. I think it just needs 1 more row right in there. And you know what might work too is to do it like this. Let's just see if that works. Not a bad way to do it, ladies. And gentlemen, if anybody pops on, I haven't seen anybody. Okay, let's see. Oh, let me see that. Are you, Cindy? Bless you, because it would be so hard, you know, to find a good man. But, you know, if that's the desire of your heart, then you pray, and if it's in his will, he'll bring that person to your life. Maybe one of your friends that's a believer can help you find somebody. I know Ron's dad lost his wife, Ron's stepmom, you know, I don't even know how many months it's been now. And he's not, obviously, it hasn't been long enough, but he says he doesn't want anybody else. But, you know, I do hate to think about him being alone. I think that it's, you know, hard. Okay, let's see. Do y'all see anything? I'm watching comments. Yes, I believe it too, Cindy. Too crowded, Anne? Uh-oh, I hope not, because I just did it. It may be a little crowded, but I got it in there. It is hard to be alone. I know. I mean, I don't know. But I just saw my mom, and so I know from her perspective. So, okay. Once you get everything like you like it, and I'm still watching for comments. If you guys tell me, you know, no, Deb, you forgot this, or it doesn't look right there. So what I'm going to do now with the leftover resin, I'm going to sprinkle it over, you know, my glass. Because we do have a layer at the bottom, but all of this crushed glass is sitting on top of each other. So some of this resin is going to drizzle down and touch each piece of glass. Thanks, Michelle. So, you know, while I do this, I'm not pouring it, I'm not putting tons. As long as one little piece of resin touches everything, it's not going anywhere when it cures. Oh, good night, Ann. I'm glad you stayed with us as long as you did. Have a good sleep. So just let that resin kind of drizzle down in between all the little pieces. And I've never had, you know, I've done this a long time, and I've never the next day had any piece fall out. Like, it's always enough resin. So just by drizzling it, you're good. And I'm going to do the same thing over these little pieces, even though, you know, most of them they are sitting in resin, and most of them are close enough to the resin, they kind of have resin, but it's not going to hurt now I've got it left, so I'm going to just take it and go just quickly down each row. So just one pass down each row. I mean, if you've got more resin, it doesn't hurt to use it. Although, yeah, I probably will just mostly use this. I've got I've got quite a bit left. This is probably close to half an ounce that I have left. So that would do a whole, I don't see a handy one, but one of those magnets I do like. Oh, here's one. I just did this one. So the other day I had some left. I added a few pieces of clear and then poured the resin. So it'll do a few of those. It'll probably do 3 of those. So if you have a little project sitting around, you can use your leftover resin. So then you just take a look at it. If any dripped on the side, I'll take my glove and just kind of wipe it. Just kind of rub it into the wood or to the canvas, whatever you're painting on. We'll do one final swipe with our heat tool thing, torch. Oh, good. It is relaxing. It's relaxing to do. So if you're relaxed while you're watching, it's the same way when you do it. Just time passes and you don't even notice. It's just Okay. And then if you see little pieces that kind of move, you can use your toothpick and move them back. And then what I do is place this on a level surface. I do use the little, let me grab them because I don't know what they're called. If you guys order on Temu, you'll see these on there, but they have them at art stores too. So does anybody know what they're called? So I'll put 4 of these on my table where I cure and just prop it up on those. And as long as your table is level, then everything will be fine. If your table is off, even just by a little bit, just see the visual of when I turn it this way, I promise you all the resin will run to one side. Maybe not all, but you know, it runs to one side, even if it's just a little bit. So then this side won't have very much, and this side will have way too much, or it'll be dripping over. So it does need lifters. It does need to be on a level surface. Bye, Cindy. So there we go. That's it. And then I'll cover it, and you can use a clear box, a shipping box, or I have some of these food tents that I use. However, a clear box or a shipping box, even as long as it's really clean and there's no dust inside, is even better because little particles can get through here. So I have found that, you know, if I can, sometimes I'll just prop a box, you know, over it, and it works great. All right, guys, so be watching tomorrow, and I will show you how this turned out. I love to do the little video where I can take it outside because it's so much prettier in the light. But it's even prettier in here with just the lights on. I just can't get it on camera very well. So I usually take it outside. And then if you have kids or grandkids, be sure in the morning on my website, first thing, there will be a tracer for this little unicorn. And you can print that out and let them color it or paint it. And I love for you to show me. So in the VIP group, some ladies showed me what theirs did, and oh, it just brought joy because they're so cute. And anyway, so I'm going to teach this tomorrow. So you're welcome to tune in or watch it and teach it to your kids or grandkids. That would be super fun. All right, guys, I hope y'all have a good night. Thank you. Love you too. Y'all all have a great night. Veronica, I'm going to go back and see if you told me, or you can message me. Let me know how you're feeling. And I appreciate y'all being here and all the things you did. Y'all have a great night, and hopefully I'll see you some tomorrow. Bye-bye.